Hello, welcome to class. Hopefully I found a place to put the camera so that there's a little bit less glare. I always tend to start filming at the same time of day, but I think I found something that will work for the moment. So this is our last section in chapter 4. So far we have added, subtracted, simplified. We started with simplifying. Multiplied, and so the only operation left to do is dividing polynomials. So 4.8 is about dividing polynomials. There are easy examples, and then there's some pretty tricky ones. And then at the end of the lesson, I will show you a cool shortcut on how to kind of not have to do the really hard way. And then it'll kind of be your choice. And please know that there are lots of extra examples out there on YouTube. You can type just straight into the search on YouTube or just the search bar of your computer, dividing polynomials, and you will come up with a plethora of different things. So let's get started. Let me get out of your way here because now I'm standing right in front of the screen. And I would pause and write all that down. And here we go. All right. So let's just go back to simplifying fractions. I tried to encourage you in one of our earlier lessons that you're going to see fractions throughout our course. So if we look at 18 over 12 and we think about how to reduce that, we need to find the biggest number that will divide evenly into both 18 and 12. And so that answer is 6. So 6 goes into 18 3 times. And 6 goes into 12 twice. So this reduces down to 3/2. But when we look at exponents and we have x to the 5th over x squared, we subtract. So when we looked at section 4.1, we talked about the quotient rule, and we subtracted our exponents. So this would be x to the 3rd. So in general, we're dividing our coefficients, but we are subtracting our exponents. So how is that going to look when we apply that to a bigger example like this? Well, first of all, I would probably write the divisor underneath each piece individually. All right, so the first thing I would do is whatever you're dividing by, go ahead and write that underneath each term. And now what we need to do is we are just going to simplify each piece separately. Now please note that if my polynomial has 3 terms in the problem, 1, 2, 3, then there will always, 100% of the time, be 3 terms in the final simplified answer. So you're never going to lose out on terms. So if we have x to the 4th, there's a 1 right there, and there's a 3 here. There are no common divisors between 1 and 3, so we're going to just write that as 1/3. And then we're going to subtract those exponents. So 4 minus 1 is 3. Between 15 and 3, 3 goes into 15 5 times, and it's going to be a plus. And then x to the 3rd and x to the 1st, 3 take away 1 leaves x squared. Minus 3 divides into 6 twice, and 2 take away 1 is 1. So my final answer, once again, please note that you have 1, 2, 3 terms in your polynomial. And it's okay if you end up with a fraction as one of your coefficients. That's totally fine. You'll kind of have to mess around with MyMathLab. I'm not really sure which way they will have you enter the answer. Just know that these 2 items here are equivalent. There's no difference there. It's just written differently, but it has the same exact meaning. Okay, let's do it again just in case you missed something. Or if you think you've got it, go ahead and pause the video and try this next one on your own. Or both of them. I have 3 here. All right, step 1. Divide by 5t. Divide by 5t. We're going to divide and subtract. So 5 goes into 24 times. 5 take away 1 leaves t to the 4th. Minus 5 divides into 15 3 times. T squared take away t to the 1st leaves t. It's hard for me to tell if I'm writing straight. 5 goes into 36 times. And notice these are just going to cancel each other out. 1 take away 1 is 0. So this last piece there, that last term, doesn't have a t. Final answer. All right, this one has just one little piece that works differently. The steps are the same. And so we have 4 goes into 12 3 times. 4 take away 1 leaves y to the 3rd. Minus, this is why I wanted to make sure I showed you this. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. And the y's also kind of cancel out. Y to the 1st minus y to the 1st leaves y to the 0 power. You don't just drop that off. You need kind of that placeholder. 4 over 4 reduces to 1. Y over y reduces to 1. So you need to have, if there are 2 terms in your problem, there are 2 terms in your answer. All right. You might want to fast forward right here. It's going to take me a second to erase all this. And so our next part of section 4.8 talks about what happens if you're dividing by something with 2 terms. So divide